everyone.
Oh,
Nice to see you guys today. Thanks for joining. I'll add people as they join and if they join today. But welcome to Pearsall members monthly Zoom. How are you guys doing?
I'm having a hard day today. Really hard day, and I'm hoping that the session will be good for me.
Okay, I hope so too, Sue. I'm so sorry. Okay.
I'm here for the same reason, Sue, and you already just made me feel a little bit better, so I can get that. And I'm sorry to everyone else, but
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
That's okay. I think everybody's having up and down time lately. I'm going through some things. Everybody's just really struggling recently. So that's actually a good place for us to begin. So, Sue, I'm going to ask you what's going on.
My dad passed away yesterday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know. I'm just still really raw about it. And I was just hoping maybe he might just like intrude our meeting and say hello to me. Make sure, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I hope he does too. What's his name?
His name is Fred.
Hey, Fred.
Okay. So we're going to invite Fred and just see if he'll join with us at some point. I'm just going to open it up so that if he does want to, he can. And I've already opened it up for Poppy to join if Poppy wants to join, and that's Jackie's.
Honestly, if he wants to move us so Fred can talk, I'm okay with that too.
He's not a huge talker, so
okay.
That's okay. We'll just hopefully maybe he'll just connect with us and let us know that he's okay and he made it there safe and whatnot. And Jackie, same thing for Poppy. If she comes and stops in, we'll also make that connection. So what I'm going to do is I've opened it up for them to connect, and I've actually opened up for anybody who wants to connect. And Amanda, can I ask if in your family in January, June, or July, is there a birthday or an anniversary?
Oh, wow, there's a lot. The first one that comes to mind is my cousin. Her birthday was in July and she died in January.
Okay, because there's a lady next to you, and I did open it up for anybody that wants to connect today. And a woman stepped next to you. At first, they thought she was your mama, but she's not. She's too young. How old was your cousin?
Same age as me. It happened a few years ago. But she would have
I can't breathe when I connect with her. My brain feels very dizzy. I don't feel in my conscious thought. How did she pass?
Oh, that's complicated. It ended up being from, honestly, I couldn't even tell you.
Does she have too much medication in her body? Like there's too much medication running through her body. It's causing me to have a lot of problems. And she know your mama?
Yeah, she is on the same side. So mama
as your mama?
Yeah, we share the same mama.
Because your mama is here. And I want to ask, I know you have a cat, but did your mama have a cat? I know she had a dog, but did she have a cat?
She did before I was born, yes.
Okay, because she's presenting herself with the dog, but then she has a cat in her arms, and I know it's not Naya. So that would help me know that your grandmother is here. Is there something specific about Easter or the month of March or April between you and your grandma? Oh, your birthday's in March, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Yeah. I forget things when I'm doing this. So I am getting her using a confirmation like that. But when she talks about the March or April, it's because there's a season there. And I think it's Easter. Mm-hmm. So is there anything special for you and Mama for Easter or for that time frame other than your birthday?
We had a lot of spiritual conversations and we talked a lot about Jesus. And I think that's probably why she always said that I was close to God.
Okay. That's going to make sense to me because that is the resurrection. And I can totally take that of being that season of his resurrection. So your grandma's here. I know we've talked about this before, but again, she's your principal spirit guide and guardian angel. And she is thrilled with the relationship that you are forming with yourself. Your sacral chakra is lit up, and that's our chakra that deals with relationships with the self and others. And she's really excited that the relationship with yourself is growing exponentially. So whatever you're working on in your life, it's filling your solar plexus. So you're becoming like who you want to be outside of any conditionings. Like you and you are doing really well. So your grandma really wants you to know that she's so proud of everything that you're doing. And also, we talked about this afternoon, me and you, but she does show me that from your heart chakra, your crown chakra, and your solar plexus chakra, all red light just comes shooting out of you, which is telling me you don't have to worry about the finances. Literally, what we've said today, that's really true. Like you're going to be provided for. And I wish Britt was here so we could tell Britt, like, don't stress out about it because it's really going to work really well. And
Yeah.
everything's going to be fine financially for both of you, you and her. So it doesn't look to me like it's going to weigh heavy on one side or the other side. It looks like it's a pretty equal balance, even as you're in school. So that's what your grandma says. She says, go ahead and get that other tattoo. So are you planning another tattoo that we don't know about? And are you getting it? And she's saying, go ahead and get it. But what is it about? Because it's an encouraging, they don't usually say in heaven, hey, go get that tattoo. But she just got off of this part where she's talking about like your solar plexus is like the authentic you. It's like you have found you. And so it's nice. And then she talks about the tattoo. So what kind of tattoo have you been thinking of that you want to get that's a description of your own self-identification?
That's so funny. I keep saying I need to get a tattoo because I want to finish my arm. And I thought about doing I've gone back and forth about a few different tattoos, but like a feminine divine tattoo or like something to do with my cat, Naya, doing like a Buddha, Naya.
I love it. And I love it. And I love it because she showed up with the cat, first of all, and never has showed up in a session with us or anything with a cat.
Yeah.
So that, and then she's talking about the tattoo right after she talks about your own inner self, which is the divine feminine. Like that's what you're finding within you. So yay. And she's saying you can go ahead and move forward with that. So she's like kind of like bowing at you, like you're right where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And she says, really stop worrying about stuff. And she also says that your Brit is awesome. Just sometimes tell her, right, totally, yes. Because she just has to get it out. That's literally not coming from me. That's literally coming from your mama. So I like that they have that connection, or that she's accepting her and the family are accepting, how she is. But don't worry about every little thing that she worries about because it will drive you crazy.
Sense.
That's what your mama says.
Because I think I might have heard her because that's kind of how I've been responding lately to things. Like I feel like I've learned a lot more about how to respond and just be like, okay, great. She just needs to talk it out and then it'll be fine. And I don't need to take it in to fix it.
Yes.
So,
and your grandma does not run with you, but she does float next to you when you're training and running. And she's really excited for you girls about that. Also, was there a baby lost to the family? Did the baby not make it to Earth?
there was this baby that came up in my mom's session that I know Mama holds the baby.
Okay,
And
who
it's
is
like
that
my
baby?
great aunt's baby. But that's the only baby that I can think of.
Okay, so it's not close enough for you, and I'm not feeling what I'm supposed to be feeling if I'm if I'm understanding them correctly. So let me ask her one more question. Hold on. Oh, you guys are going to have kids. You guys are going to have kids. That's one of your, that's okay. You're going to be an aunt. So, okay. So there is going to be a baby that's coming to the family because that's what I'm supposed to be feeling. All right. Now, out of everybody here, and they'll be here the whole time, Amanda, if you have questions that you want to ask them. Your cousin is really happy. And then she goes like that, but she's smiling and she just goes. So she's laughing and rolling her eyes at you and like going like this. But I don't think she says that you're crazy. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it is. She's not saying like you're crazy. It's like you guys have a secret because she's like, you know how if you're talking about somebody and they turn around and you go like, okay, like that's what she's doing, but it's paired with you. Like you should know what she's talking about.
I do.
Okay. So it makes sense to you?
It does. A lot of
Okay.
sense.
And she like blows kisses at you. And then I want to ask you, Sue, you said your dad was quiet, and I get that. There is a guy that came in, but he came in right after Pam's dad, Leonard. So Leonard kind of is hanging out with your dad, but they're in like Wisconsin area. So there's a lake, there's a bench or a chair thing, like a picnic thing. And he's sitting there. And that's where he says he could spend his whole entire heaven at this place. It is his heaven. But the person that he's actually talking to is Leonard, Pam's dad. Pam is currently in Wisconsin at her dad's place that she has now since he went to heaven. And I feel like your dad and Pam's dad are both in this place. So it's like, you know, Pam's dad is a very nice, personable person. So he shows up to the session and then he'll be the one to be like telling your dad, oh yeah, come on over here, sit down, like have a seat, like let's go to this thing that's happening. So I kind of feel like Leonard had something to do with that.
My dad,
He
my dad's
says,
house is on the lake.
go ahead.
He built his house. on the
Okay,
lake,
well,
so
okay.
the lake's-
Well, that's like his heaven. That's like what he represents as heaven. And he is very peaceful. Like I feel peaceful. And he makes me feel complete. And he wants me to explain that. Oh, and he says his arm isn't hurting. Did he have IV?
No, but he had pain.
He had what?
Pain.
In his wrist, his arms, like.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is all better. He's recognizing, like, did he have bruising? Anyway, I don't know what happened here, but he's like, oh, I'm all better. Like, my arm is all better. Like, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
He also makes me feel like this was his time to go. And
Yeah.
he makes me feel, too, like he feels complete. He had a good life. He has good children and grandchildren, and it was his time. And there's no sense of he shouldn't be where he's at all. So he says, write him a letter every now and then. And then he has a thermos, and the thermos has coffee in it.
Oh, okay.
So who drinks all the coffee? Your dad?
I drink a lot of coffee. I mean, he drank coffee
Okay.
too, but I drink like a lot of coffee.
Okay. He tells me he drifted away. Was he sleeping when he passed or unconscious? Because he says that his transition moment was like, you know how in the morning when you go to wake up and you're like, oh,
Mhm.
and you just kind of become awake. He said it was like if you get up in the morning and he just became awake. And that's how he entered heaven. And the first thing he smelled was the outdoors, nature.
Mm.
And so then he's on that bench. Okay. He also wants me to ask about, well, you're an S, you're Sue, but he says the name Shelly, but then he only shows me the SH or the CH. So I know you're Sue, and I don't think he's talking about that. Do you have any SH or CH names or family members that he would refer to?
I mean, there's a Marcy or Marcella, but that's not SH or CH.
Mm,
Um, so that-
CH, SH, same thing, but I
but
don't know why
Marcella
he's
is
showing me that.
No, not that I can think of. I mean, Dan, Susan, Nancy, John,
No,
you know,
no, no.
his sisters, Mary and Nikki, Florence, his mother, Marie, dad, Fred, you know.
No, no,
Mhm.
I don't know why he's saying that. Hold on one second. Did you not get any goodbye with your dad? Did you not know he was passing?
Oh, no, I
Because,
did. I did. In
okay,
fact, I heard his last words, and which is really meaningful to me. But I did ask him a question this morning, there's family dynamics and stuff, and I was hoping he might give me some guidance as to if what he felt in life is really what he wants.
okay. Can I ask if your dad was hard of hearing on
Yes,
one side?
yes.
Because he's telling me that he can hear now. And I just needed to make sure that I'm understanding him correctly and I'm translating for him correctly.
Yes,
There,
one ear.
the way that he showed me the SHCH sound was Sherry. So Sherry, I thought was a name. I don't think it's a name. I think, doesn't Cherie mean like love and Mon chéri? What does that word mean? Does
Don't
anybody know?
know. My dad's parents were Czech, so they would have spoken Czechoslovakian.
Could you look up what that means? Oh, it means my darling. Oh, it's about you. It is you, because he's like, well, she's the S. I'm like, right, but she's not what you're saying. She's Sue, not Cherie. And so I keep asking him. I asked him like 3 times. I'm like, what are you? She doesn't have a Sherry, a Sherry, a Sheila, a Cherie in in the family. And so then he shows me some, like, I don't know, I was probably 9 or 10, and I was watching a cartoon, and the cartoon was, the animal in the cartoon was like, well, shall we? And I didn't know, and that's, he shows me that. So then I was like, oh, okay, it's a different
Skunk.
language, and it's a skunk. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a vision. I was like a kid when I saw that. That's what made me say the name. But Marissa just looked it up, and it means my darling. So your dad is saying that to you, but he's even using it that as yeah. So he just wanted to know he's okay. His finger, did his ring get stuck, or did his finger swell, or were his knuckles bad? Because he's talking to me about his wedding ring, and it feels
Yeah.
stuck. Like it feels like I can't wear it because my knuckles are too big, or it got stuck.
Well, it's not on his finger now. It's on a necklace around my mother's neck at the moment. And
Okay.
the engagement ring that she gave him is on her finger at the moment. Right outside.
Okay, because that's gonna help me know I'm talking to him, because he's like showing me the ring, and it's like he wants me to pay such attention to the ring and where it is right now. Like it's here. So can't get it off his finger, but it's on her. So that's a good confirmation. That would be his way of just letting your mom know that he loves her and he made it there okay. And now I'm sure you haven't had the funeral and whatnot yet.
Not yet. We were at the funeral director's office today making cremation arrangements.
So are you gonna view him? Are they gonna view him? He shows me a viewing.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, we were here, and when he passed, and we kind of, when they came to get the body, he was at home, he died at home, we all kind of
Okay.
watched him and processed out the door and through the yard.
So you kind of had the
And
viewing
we
that
had
you
like
would
a-
have.
We had like a, yeah. He was at home for a couple hours
So,
before they took him away.
okay. So your dad is showing me, well, telling me, well, asking me. I don't know if you guys are going to send him in clothing, but could you please send comfortable clothing? And then he laughs.
Oh,
So he doesn't want to be like buried in a suit or, cremated in a suit. He wants like comfortable clothing, like
oh,
not, dressy clothing, comfortable clothing.
Yeah,
And he's
he-
laughing at me when he
likes
says it
his
because he knows
casual.
over there he can wear whatever he wants, but he wants to be casual clothing.
Yeah, he is.
So, okay. So, I understand that he doesn't talk a lot or he's not a guy of a lot of words, but the visions that he's showing me and the things he's saying helps us know that it's him. Like he doesn't want to be in a suit. He wants to be in something casual and comfortable and
Yeah.
all of that. So I do smell a lot of water. Are you on a lake?
Yeah. Well,
You personally, are you?
well, I'm at his house right now. So the lake's right out there. I was just out there a minute ago. He built a house
Then
on the lake property, and he built the house for him and my mom. And that
okay, great. And you're at the house now.
I'm at the house now. Yes.
Because he's right near you and I can smell the lake.
Mm.
I can smell the water.
Mm.
And so I'm like, you must be there because when he's next to you now, I can smell it. And when he was talking to me, I had visions of it, but I couldn't smell it.
Yeah.
So that means he's with you guys there, and that helps. So you can tell your mom that he's okay.
Yeah.
Is your mom a very early riser in the morning? Because he says that he'll see her at daybreak. Like daybreak is happening and she's getting up. So it's like night looking still, but just breaking into day. Does she get up like really early?
Well, sometimes lately it's been mixed because she's been sleeping on the couch next to his hospital bed in the living room. And sometimes she gets up in the middle of the night. Yeah. And sits in her chair next to him and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I feel like his connection time with her, one of the strongest times of his presence is in the morning when she's up, when she gets up. Like that's where he's kind of showing me, because I'm watching the sun come up over the lake, like literally watching it come up.
Yeah.
And so that's just, but he loves you. He thanks you. Do you have two siblings or are you one of two?
I am one of, I have 3 siblings. I'm one of 4.
You're one of 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of your siblings not around?
Well, we're all alive. We were all here the other day. Dan left, and today there remains me and my sister and my other brother. So.
Okay, so there's
one of them has already left to go home today.
And
Yeah.
where do they live?
In Illinois. I'm in Michigan right now. So, yeah, not far away. We all live in Illinois. My parents live in Michigan. But he seems to be
Okay.
kind of, yeah, this is the brother that I was kind of asking him this morning about. He's kind of,
Well, he's singling out one then, because he's including the 3 of you and then he's singling one out. So what is the issue with that brother? What's his name? Let me just look.
Dan.
Okay. Dan thinks he has all of the ideas that he's supposed to have. He's not going to listen to anybody else's opinion. He thinks he knows what he's supposed to be doing, and that's what he's going to do. So unless you have a good argument to change his mind, good luck.
Well, I did have a conversation with him last night as there was alcohol involved. I felt like I made some leeway, but this is
it's going to take him some time. Mm-hmm.
This is my father's opinion
So,
of him, or this is you connecting with Dan?
This is me looking at Dan, saying you're good luck moving that mountain.
Okay. Yes. I'm just spreading the decision that my dad made about Dan and his will, and it's kind of a hard thing. And I keep thinking, do you really still feel that way? Now that you've passed? If he does, he does. That's good. I mean, fine.
I can ask him. Hold on. You know, when he made the decision to do that, he made the decision from a human perspective. Now that he's over there, he has a spiritual perspective of that decision. In either case, from over there, that decision serves all of you and not in a financial way or the executor of the will or the one who controls the estate or anything like that. It's so each of you can discover something about yourselves. How much power will this situation have over your relationships with one another? So there's a benefit to the decision because it helps you to discover the truth about your own selves. And what do you do with that? So let's say he had that information while he was here on earth. He may have chosen something different, but he can't discount the benefit that it could have in either uniting you all or splitting apart.
Okay. That's kind of the confirmation I was looking for.
Yeah, well, he knows your heart and, you know, they love you so much.
I mean,
And he's there with his mom who's giving him cookies.
oh, yay!
But there's certain cookies. They're like
Kolaczkis.
they're like ethnic cookies. They're not like chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin.
Oh.
They're like powdered sugar and
Yes.
so he's over there with his grandma and he is eating the cookies and he just feels happy. He says he's visiting every part of his life. And then Leonard laughs and he's like, see, I told you, you don't know what to know first. What happened when Leonard passed is I had said to him, you know, when you get there, like, tell me what, anything you can tell me. So then he passes and he says to me, he connects. And I was like, so how's heaven? He's like, oh, I don't know what to know first. Think about it. I don't know what to know first because there is nothing sequential. Everything is known to you. And at that time, you don't know what to know. You know everything. So what do you know first? Like, you know everything. And it stuck with me when he did that. And so now him and your dad are kind of like joking about that, like, right? You know everything because your dad was talking about being with his grandma and how he's eating cookies with his grandma, but he's like 10. And then yet he's still an adult visiting his grandma. So he's experiencing all parts of himself with his grandma.
You're talking about Leonard now or Fred?
No, I'm talking about your dad.
Oh, okay. So with his mother, my grandma.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The one who's giving him cookies.
Yes.
Right. So he's doing well and he feels comfortable that you guys will work this out with your brother in a way. His goal is that you work it out in a way that everybody gets to stay together, still be a family and love one another. Not to let this take any power over the love you have for each other.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm supposed to go through and fulfill his decision when the time comes. Okay, good. That's
unless you can get your brother and siblings to agree with something different.
okay.
He shows me a united front. He shows me everybody agreeing to the same thing. And if you all can't agree, then you can default to his decision.
Okay. Thank you.
So, yeah, that was a great way to show me that. He gave a good vision to describe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I think this is Poppy, but she's got funny. She's smiling at me or she wants me to show me something about her teeth. Did Poppy have something with her teeth, like a tooth was missing or went abscess, or did she smile? Like, I know I'm talking to her right now because Lulu just started, but can I ask about her teeth or her dental?
Nothing that I'm aware of. If there was something I didn't know.
Was she a dog that smiled?
Not all that often. I was always saying that beagles are horrible because they have resting beagle face, which makes you feel guilty. But I've been looking at a lot of pictures and thinking about how strange it was that she was like big smiles a lot in the last like week or so.
Okay. If that's what she's trying to convey, then it's more of not a message from me to you, but a confirmation that she knows that you were looking at those pictures, that you are the one that recognizes the smile and that you made that connection. So she is confirming that really for you. She said that her hips were bothering her prior to her passing, but you or anyone else would have taken that to be like a hip dysplasia or old age. Nobody really had the understanding that she had what she had. So she doesn't want you or the vet or anybody to think that they missed something, because they really didn't. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. She had arthritis and was on medication, and beagles are kind of known for having hip dysplasia, and she was a senior. So there were often times where like I knew she didn't feel good or she was uncomfortable, but yes, I would just always chalk it up to it's her arthritis. That's why her hips hurt. When, I mean, I can see what you're saying. Like something else was going on in that area. But
Right. But nobody would have known even or thought to look any deeper into it. And she kind of knew it, but not really. But she wasn't surprised that it was her time to go to the Rainbow Bridge. She didn't feel a sense of surprise.
she knew before
Yeah.
she laid down.
Yeah.
And she just like, I looked in her eyes and I knew like, she knows she's dying right
Okay. So she does just want to confirm that for you. Did she like cats? Oh, you have a cat. Okay, forget it. I know, I understand what she's showing me. You do have a cat, right? I saw a picture of a cat with Poppy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the cat still sees her, but she does acknowledge the cat. And I forgot that you had one, but she did show me the vision. Oh, do you have one in heaven?
I've got a bunch in heaven and one still here.
Do you have like a fat gray one in heaven? Because Poppy said that she met up with the fat gray cat. I thought it was the cat that I saw in the pictures, but it's not. She's like, no, that's not the one I'm talking about.
That's
So
my
she is
cat.
with a fat gray cat, huh?
And Angie was a fat gray cat. That was my very first cat ever.
Okay, well, Poppy and her are hanging out. So I think she's feeling fine. She has company, and they both visit, and they all visit. Actually, all your animals visit.
I'm sure she's feeling great. I'm jealous. We're the ones stuck here while all the good people are up there.
Yeah, but there is no separation. We're just the ones that think we're separated. So she says she will give you signs, and she's already started giving you signs. One of them is a bell, a random bell. It could be like a doorbell. It could be your phone. It's a bell. It's a ding. And she is trying to make sure that you know that that's her. So are you hearing bells?
Yeah, I used to have a bell hanging on the door. That's how she would let me know she had to go to the bathroom. So she'd go and hit her nose on the bell. And for a couple of days, it was every 10 seconds she was ringing a bell at me, and she was driving me nuts. But I took the bell down so that I wouldn't get sad every time I opened the door, but I still hear it.
Okay. Yeah. And you can put the bell back up. She said that'll make her job of connection a lot easier if you just put the damn bell back. So she would like you to put the bell back. So this way it would make it easier, because now then she doesn't have to be as creative. Like, can she get to your phone? Can she get to the dryer or the TV or the doorbell? So yeah, put the bell back up. That would be easier for her to reach out and let you know that she's there.
All right. I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
She loves you a bunch, and she says you're the best dog mom in the world, and she picked you. And she does that with pride. She's like, I picked her, you know. So where did you get her and how did you get her? Because she said she picked you. You didn't pick her.
She was a rescue, and by the time I rescued her, she had been transferred from like Kentucky to Tennessee to Mississippi to Illinois. Her adoption paperwork even had like one name crossed out, the next name, like she had 4 names. I'm so sorry, guys. This is embarrassing. She had like 4 names before it finally said, like, her name was Honeysuckle, and then they changed it like 2 months before to Poppy, and that's when she was in Illinois, and I found her. And she was like found homeless as like a puppy on the side of the road, like someone abandoned her on the side of the road. And by the time she got to me, she was already 1.5, and her name was Poppy. And yeah, she'd been around. No one wanted her because she was never going to be 100% potty trained. I replaced 3 carpets for that dog, and I do it again. Like, she was worth it.
Well, she said she had to travel to find you. It took
That's
her
right.
a while to find you.
Yeah.
Like, she found you. You didn't find her. She
Yeah.
traveled a long way to get to
That's-
you.
She wasn't even the dog I was going to adopt. There were 2 beagles, and my sister had
Right,
said
that's what she said.
a dog. When I got there, they're like, "Oh no, that dog was gone." And I was gonna change. I want to name my dog Zelda. And when I met Poppy, no, this dog's name is Poppy. And like even that, like, it was changed on her paperwork. Like, I'm gonna pick my name and I'm gonna pick my mom. So
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
kind of what she did, because she's like, no, she didn't pick me. I picked her, but you were going to pick 2 other puppies. And then, no, you got her. So this was all orchestrated by her. She came for you. And then she says she's going to drop in again like a stork. Like, you know how the stork brings the babies? So she shows me a vision of a stork flying over your house and literally dropping.
Can you
a
tell
puppy.
me anything about the bundle that stork has? Because something's already going on, and I'm wondering.
Okay, I figured it. I figured it because you know what she showed me? She showed me Meadow. And Meadow, when Meadow died, she was literally transitioning out. Like, her spirit was lifting out of her body. And she's like, I'll be the black and white one on the left, and I love squeaky balls. And then you know what? She was the dog on the left of the video that left the screen and had a fucking squeaky ball. So, like, that's her obsession. So we know it's the same dog. So let me ask, it feels like a stork drops a puppy in your lap, like it's brought to you. And let me ask if she can give me any
she can confirm anything about anything.
And you know, this puppy would be literally puppy, like still awkward in their own body.
Well, my plan has always been I can't handle a puppy. There's no way in hell I can handle a puppy, but there is a category called baby, and that is a 1-year-old dog. So now I'm sitting here like, really, Jackie, are you really going to do this? But I don't know.
It's a baby. She's a baby. So are you looking at one already?
Yeah.
And is it a girl?
No.
Okay, let me ask her if it's her. Hold on.
I'm looking at, there was another one that was a girl.
Did you notice if the girl and the boy, is one of their noses predominant as a feature?
Absolutely.
Like their nose? Which one has the nose I would want to pay attention to because it calls my attention?
The girl has a pink nose. I've never had a dog with a pink nose before.
Okay, so she's showing me that the way you can identify her, and I did see her as a girl dog, and she is showing me that her nose is what calls your attention, and then you can bring her home if you like.
All right. I just changed my mind, just like that.
And can I ask if anything was interesting about Poppy's paws, toes, or dew claws?
They were just super cute. Like, I have a ton of pictures on my phone of Poppy's paws, pictures of me holding my dog's hand. Like, I'm nuts. Like, I was obsessed with this dog, always was, but I even found on my phone yesterday a picture from like 4 winters ago that it's her paw print in the snow because it looks like a bear. Like, I argued with my mom once. It was like something crazy was in the backyard. No, that's Poppy. That wasn't a dog's paw, Jackie. Yeah, seriously. That's what Poppy's big fat foot looks like in the snow, Mom. So
Okay, so she's totally like showing me her paws, her dew claws, her pads, her whole everything about that. So you have that. That's my confirmation that
me and Amanda have something in common because you also just chose my tattoo. And I was talking about that last night. The picture, the snow print of Poppy's paw in my phone is my next tattoo.
okay, so well, she's showing me. So yeah, you can get that little pink nosed doggy. Takes them about a year to acclimate into their body. So at the beginning, you just see little signs that it's Poppy, and then as she grows up, you'll see more of her character once she acclimates to the new body.
Well, the girl dog is a mama that just gave birth to a litter, so she won't be available until the puppies are weaned. But I could see that.
Like about 8 weeks.
Yeah, like maybe I'm not ready. So
Okay. So we will see.
thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions for her or for the fat gray cat who's walking around like royalty? Like royalty.
You know, she was the first. No, just I'm sure they know I love them. That's all that matters.
Yes, they know, and they love you too. And Pam, your dad said if you have any questions, since he's hanging out with her dad, with Sue's dad, you can ask. He says he does like Cindy and Earl a lot. They're good people. He likes them.
Oh, that's good.
Mhm.
No, I think he'd be. Is he okay with me tearing down the house and rebuilding?
Yeah, it's about time, he said. And also he said they are figuring out something for your Aunt Janice.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, he said like they're getting a party together for your Aunt Janice. They're like in preparation. Like if someone's gonna get married, you start to plan the wedding and the reception and who you're inviting and who you're not inviting and what kind of music you're gonna have. So there's a planning period that happens before a wedding reception. That could be, how long does it take you to plan a wedding? So he's giving me that they are at the beginning phases of planning a wedding. A reception of welcoming. So it doesn't tell me anything about when or what, just that there is preparations, and that there's no time in heaven. So,
right.
And I don't have a vision of a timeline. I just have a knowledge from your dad that there is a welcoming being prepared for your Aunt Janice. And Nader is also there. Nader is her son, right? Janice's son, not Cynthia's son. Okay, so then that would make sense why Nader is there. He says you wouldn't recognize him if you saw him. He's skinny.
I bet he looks great. And he can walk.
Yeah, he's on a boat. That's his heaven, is on a boat. Literal on a boat is his heaven.
He had 2.
Okay, so he's on a boat. Your mom is waving from the boat. Oh, they're on your boat. Duh! Oh. Not the boat. You don't have it yet, but they're on your boat. Like, seriously, your mom is the one that tipped it off because you're... Okay, so Nader likes having like, his heaven is like being boating, okay? And in that whole scenery, okay. But then I'm looking and like your dad is on the shore, he's on the boat, but then your mom is on the boat and she's like, and they're waving from the boat. And so it took me a minute. They are congratulating you on your boat. They're excited for when you're getting it, and they're trying to get it to you fast. Like they also want to get it to you fast. So that's awesome. Great. Yeah, that's great. They're excited about that. So your dad says it's about time to knock down the house and start over. That is the best choice moving forward. He shows me a lot of white light moving forward, says that's the best course of action. And then he Yeah, he's really excited about the boat. He likes Cindy and Earl. Some of the other ones, well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what he means by that, but that's what he says. But he really
Yeah,
likes
I
Cindy
think
and
so.
Earl.
I
And
think
the
I
rest
do.
of them, he's like, well. And he really likes that Dave and Ginger still. So he likes when they go up and when they're around, and they're good kids, is what your dad says. You can tell them hello from
I
your
will.
dad.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Is there anything my mom or my dad need me to do for Patty?
No, your mom shows a vision of you standing next to her. So it looks like being supportive and just being there, like being that person for her to lean on. It's not like I see you helping her clean her house or, like what I see is that your presence in her life makes a difference for her. And that is what your mom would want you to do, to make a difference for each other. That her presence in your life fills something in you, and that your presence in her life fills something in you. And it's taken a little time for you guys to come to this place in your relationship, but she's glad that you can see it too now, your mom. So she just wants you guys to be there for each other, whatever that looks like. And that's what you're both doing. And that's what makes her so happy. So that fills her. That's what she's always wanted. And your dad said he got another dog.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Literally showed me another dog right next to Duke. And it's not Max, but it's a darker colored dog. I think it's, oh God, maybe it is Penny.
Please let
No,
it be.
I don't think it's Penny. No, I don't think it's Penny, because it looks like Winnie, but black and taller, but looks like Winnie. Like has that kind of pity kind of face. And as a darker dog, and that dog is hanging out with your dad, don't be surprised if one shows up on your porch or on your property, because I really think it's going to happen. Like for real.
Dude, what are we going to do with another dog?
I don't know. Maybe it's a dog that Dave and Ginger get, like they get another dog, or it's a dog, because it's a dog that's back and forth to here and there. But the only back and forths are you, Ginger, and Dave. So if it's not your dog, it's their dog, but it's coming.
Well, because Bailey's gotten quite old, their dog.
Yeah, don't be surprised then. I'm not sure, but I do see it up there in Wisconsin, and the dog goes back and forth. So you guys, all three of you, go back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
So it's one of y'all's dogs, but it's with your dad. So my assumption is, of course, that it's your dog.
Right.
Right. Marissa's over here like giggling and laughing because
Oh, I
she's
know
thinking,
she
yeah,
is.
Pam's going to get a dog. That would make her day.
Oh, it
So-
would, except, it'd be at your house like every other week.
Haley, your spirit is standing right up above you in all white light. Are you writing a book or teaching a workshop or preparing some kind of education? Because whatever education or thing you're developing, it's a calling. It's different than an idea. An idea is, I'm going to write a book. I think that would be a great idea. A calling is, I have to write this book. I better get started. So there's something that your spirit is trying to acknowledge, that you're beginning a new effort, and it is your calling.
So I've had an idea for a book and like a title, and last week with a client, I not like told them, but like how I explained it, not that it was a book that I thought of, but I explained it to this person, and I was like, oh yeah, that book idea that you had. So yeah, there's been something that's kind of jumped around in my head for a while.
Okay, so your spirit is really like your focus has to kind of go on that, because your spirit is telling me that it's like time for you to get that going or to start that effort, because there's a reason and a purpose for it. And it's a calling. It's way more than an idea. If it were an idea, I would have colors flying all through your chakra system. I would have colors all up in your crown chakra, and you have zero color there. It is all white light, and the white light is filtering through to manifest, and it looks like a book or something, something that's going to change people's lives. And so you are supposed to start that now. So just ask your spirit, whenever you're prompted to work on it. But especially since it came up in conversation with somebody else, that might have been your spirit using your throat chakra so you could hear it and be like, oh yeah, I really should start that, maybe to do that so you could literal hear it. And here she's having me literal tell you again. So I'm doing that again based on what she's talking about. So that's great. Is one of the boys going to be in baseball?
I mean,
and is it Hank?
I mean, that's who came to my mind when you just said that. He's not. I always miss like the sign up. And it's like always in like February, and I'm like expecting it in like May. So this year they weren't in anything, but Hank, I mean, he had more of a natural talent in the nicest way possible.
So when your spirit talks to me about that, she shows me from like 9 to like 17. It looks like that has the potential to become a big part of his life. So how old is Hank now?
He's 9.
Oh, okay. So now, so you want to probably get him in something, and probably baseball if he likes it and he chooses that to be the sport. But that actually ends up being something that connects him to his own self-identification, and he's missing self-identification.
Yeah.
Like his solar plexus is a little bit, this will give him something to put into his solar plexus. And so then your spirit looks at Jackson. He's just all love in his heart. Like literally, he's just all love in his heart. So he'll do whatever, just and love everyone. I don't know. He's just all love, bursting with love in his heart chakra is what I'm seeing. So I guess whatever he wants to do that makes him happy, that works for him.
Yeah, he could do anything and be
super happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, spirit recognizes that about him. So that's and if you have questions for your spirit, we can totally ask. And if you want to reach out to somebody in heaven, we can do that too. But your spirit is pretty taking dominance over the connection, talking about your mission moving forward.
When we were sitting here and I was like,
and there's a vision of your spirit showing me you waving off men. So it's like you're on your journey, you're doing your thing, and this guy wants to date you. You're like, no, thank you. Nope. Like you might hang out with them a little bit, but then you kind of like fluff them off of you. Like, okay, I'm done. Let me get that off. So I don't know if I see a strong, intimate connection, just kind of people to date and hang out with, but you in your spirit don't feel like you want it.
So when
can you tell me about that or confirm that?
Yeah. So on Monday I had smoked and I was watching The Bachelorette. And as I was sitting there, I was like watching the interactions and the feelings that I kept getting in my body. I was like, this is disgusting. Like, you don't want to be with somebody. Like, this is like literally the most awkward thing. I'm like, why do humans do this? And I was sitting there watching that and I was like, there's not even a bone in your body that wants to be with somebody and you pretend like you want to. And I was like, that's the problem, is you don't actually want to. And I was like, okay, I mean, like I was being a little harsh, but like, as I was watching it, I was like, this is so weird and disgusting. I was like, look at these people. Like, I was just watching and I kept being like, no, this isn't for me.
Okay, so your spirit, I guess, enjoyed the show with you, but that's literally like what she shows me. So I'm glad you already had that conversation with her. So this is just a confirmation of your conversation that you had with your own spirit while you were watching The Bachelor.
Yeah. I mean, before when we were sitting here and I was like, oh, who do you think will show up? And I was like, Oh, probably just my higher self.
Yeah, okay. So then that's great. So you may have original, you orchestrated that, but that's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
The only thing that I would kind of ask is, so we're getting the new puppy,
Mm-hmm.
and like even last night when I was sleeping, normally like that Benny pillow that I have is like on the side of me, and I woke up and it was like on top of me, and I was like, well, I don't remember like grabbing this or moving it. But like I keep saying, I'm like, well, the dog is going to pick the name, because everyone keeps saying, well, what's the dog's name? What's the dog's name? And we have it down to 2. And I was like, no, we're just going to see what like he gets more excited about. And the kids are like, you can't do that. Like, you need to make a decision. I was like, no, I feel like it's his decision. Is that fine if we do this? Like, I feel like.
I think so. What do you think, Marty? Let me ask the puppy.
Yeah.
So what are the 2 names that you have for him so far?
Lucifer and Kenobi.
Okay. It's Kenobi.
Okay.
It's Kenobi, because do you know the thing that popped into my head was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And it actually was a vision of Jax saying it. Did you get the same vision? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Jax just told me earlier while he was watching Lucifer, and I was like, you want to, because he's like, I want to watch Lucifer, and I was like, does that mean you want the dog's name? He's like, no, I want it to be Kenobi.
Okay.
And I was like,
okay. Yeah, that's totally so Marissa and I literally got the same vision she's telling me, but it was him. It was Jax saying Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it was him doing, how he did that? Dora the Exploradora.
Yes.
Like how he did that at the restaurant.
Yes, he's like, Dora.
Yeah, okay. That's literally like his whole face and his whole impression were like doing the exact same thing about the name. So that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it was just me. Everyone wants it to be Kenobi, and I'm just like fighting it. So, because they wanted, because they love Obi-Wan. So,
yeah.
Okay. And it's funny because I wrote down Lucifer Kenobi, and I'm like, almost like pendulum with my hand, and it kept going to Kenobi, and I was like, no, go back to Lucifer.
Perfect. So yeah, that looks like I love that.
We got a Kenobi
on
our
hands. Okay, I know. Wow, that hour flew, you guys. We didn't talk about anything that we were going to have scheduled, but I think that's beautiful. I'm really happy that today we got to do a little gallery work and connect with our family and our friends and our pets in heaven. So that's great. Do you guys have any questions for me or for your family?
No, but I do want to say thank you, because what a difference this past hour has made for me today. So thank you guys. And I'm sorry for bringing everyone down and crying.
Not at all.
Oh, no. I didn't feel like we got brought down. I feel like we were down and we just got lifted up. So like, I think we all, when Sue came in, I was like, wow, we're all having something is going on for all of us in our own way. So whatever that was, by you guys bringing it in, I feel like we all started there, but now we end here, like, because of that. So that was beautiful and wonderful, and thank you.
Yeah. And I think it's so cool that my dad was hanging out with Leonard.
I think so too.
Go ahead. I'm cool. Sorry, Pam, but I love the vision, because your dad came down around the pier you just built, rolled his eyes at the different colors in the pier, and then her dad was there, but then there was this like seating bench thing, and her dad is sitting on it. I was like, I could look at this for the eternity. And your dad is like, well, that's where we're at. Okay, because you know how your dad is, how he makes those like one-liners, and it takes you a second, and you're like, so he's like, I could look at this for an eternity, and your dad, well, we are, that's where we're at. And that's what, so go ahead. I'm sorry, but I just had to tell you. I was going to tell you when we get on the phone later, like, do you know what your dad did in the session? He like did this. but go ahead.
So for everybody, so you don't know, I had a permanent pier built. It was supposed to be mahogany, and I lifted the pier, so they had to add another piece like a ramp. Well, they did the entire pier, and I kept looking at them like, that's not mahogany. The ramp they built was mahogany. So I have two different colors, and they're gonna fix it all. So the whole pier is getting replaced, composite wood to the mahogany. So that's the two colors. But what happened was, and I didn't tell you this week, Nick, but we used to have on our old pier a bench that connected to the inside. So it's an L, and on the L would be a bench, and we'd sit out there. Well, I thought with the new pier I could do it, but it's not big enough. I have to make the L bigger in order to put the bench. So I was talking actually to Cindy and Earl this week about extending it and making it bigger. So Earl and I were like, he goes, yeah, kiddo, make it 20 feet so you'll have your bench. In addition, right before we started the Zoom, it had rained. I had gone outside and put the chairs down because they were all, and wiped them all clean. And there's two chairs facing each other, facing the lake right now.
Okay, that all totally.
Because it's on the deck, Nick, it looks like it's the actual bench.
Okay, like all of it makes sense in so many different ways. This is why I freaking love God. Like this right here, like this, like.
So I guess I should
crazy?
extend the pier, huh?
Well, yeah, that's a confirmation to extend the pier, put the bench. That's where Fred was sitting. Like that's where they're talking. They're looking at the lake.
And my dad used to love sitting out there on the bench looking at the lake.
And he said, I really like Cindy and Earl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you were just talking to them. No, I haven't talked to you. We didn't talk about that. But whoa, see?
Yep. So I had to tell you, I was going to tell you when we came to the end about the chairs outside, literally. Just kind of funny. Mm-hmm. That's very cool.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. That's amazing. Wow. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
You guys have a great rest of your night. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, bye. Oh.